Hi lovers, I'm Kayla and this is Love Health Market. If you want beautiful pops of color at all different heights, this video is going to tell you what flower that you need to put in your backyard garden. If you want a plant that is not only beautiful but deters pests in the hot summer months, marigolds come in all different heights, colors, and shapes. They are easily one of the easiest flowers that you can grow during the summertime. When most flowers kick the bucket, marigolds are shining bright and tall, adding a beautifully whimsical vibe to your garden. Marigolds tend to enjoy being grown in very sunny conditions. The worst marigolds I've grown are marigolds that I put in the shade or that had a lot of water. I don't find them to enjoy soggy roots. They like well-draining soil, so how I do my chop and drop and my deep mulch method, they like a bit of that airy, broken up feel, more so to the compacted sandy soil, but they will still grow in sandy soil. So don't let that stop you from growing marigolds. I live in Orlando, Florida, Zone 9B, and right now it is May. I started these marigolds in March and transplanted them out about the beginning of April. So these plants are 2 months old and they're still pumping, even though it's been consistently 90 degrees and we've had little to no rain. I watered this patch maybe every 2 days for about 15 to 30 minutes with the overhead water sprinkler. I don't have any in-ground irrigation, so this bed pretty much is taking care of itself. Marigolds have a beautiful fragrance. Oh, and they're edible. They're the perfect thing to add to your flower bouquets. These are the Cocoa Gold African marigolds. I got these from Johnny Seeds. They are huge. I love growing African marigolds because they get over 3 to 4 feet tall, while most marigolds are shorter, more compact. The Cocoa Gold shine bright all the way across the garden. I find that if you keep them clipped, they grow a lot longer. Some of my marigolds I've been able to grow all the way through May to the fall. And oh my God, it smells so good. They happily reseed themselves. So anywhere I've had a marigold patch, the next year I'll be sure to have another one. I've also used marigold blooms to decorate cakes. They're a beautiful addition to your baked goods and they hold up well in bouquets. I'm talking up to 2 to 3 weeks. Make sure that you're drying them out and saving the seed so that you can have a nice storage of seeds and you don't have to keep buying them. You know to cut your marigolds when they start to flop over or when you notice that they're turning brown. That's the perfect time to start saving them for the seeds. These are the African white marigolds, but they're not really white. They're more of a cream color. I do still enjoy them because most marigolds I've noticed are more warmer colors like oranges, yellows, or reds. So I thought it was really cool that I could grow a heat-tolerant white flower that grew this tall and beautiful. That wasn't a zinnia. One of the huge benefits about marigolds is the fact that they deter pests. I always plant my marigolds next to my tomatoes because tomatoes are highly susceptible to pest issues in Florida, especially when you grow big ones like these. I also got these might be from Seed the Stars. These might be koala tomatoes, which are heat tolerant and grown in Florida. I love Seed the Stars. I highly recommend using them too. Growing tomatoes in Florida is so much easier when you companion plant. And companion planting is just growing things that like to grow together, that have a symbiotic relationship. Marigolds and tomatoes are one of those companion plantings. Marigolds also like to be grown around cucumbers, so let me go show you my raised garden bed. If you have a small space, growing marigolds in a green stalk container is so easy. In here, I have this one marigold plant. I have this other Uno marigold plant, and I'm growing, oh crap, strawberries. You can't see the strawberry? Strawberries. This is cilantro that has now turned into coriander because it's going to seed. And scallions. These scallions look a little sad. They don't really prefer the heat, but I'm able to compact in here so much food and have a pest deterrent and a beautiful pop of color in this literal 2 by 2 feet of space. So that's another reason why I absolutely love growing marigolds, because they're so versatile. Any gardener, anyone who wants to grow food can easily plant marigolds, and they're just a great confidence booster while being a functional addition to your garden as well. This is another example of interplanting marigolds. I have marigolds planted with basil, eggplants, and a banana because, again, they are a beautiful pest deterrent. My eggplants have never been this green this far into the season. Usually they'll already have like aphids or some type of spots all over them from some bug that I can't even pronounce. But all of the plants in here, as you can see, are very healthy, very much so thriving in this close density, but also with the biodiversity of the plants that I've placed in here. We have a lot of pollinating plants. So at the beginning of May, I already have eggplant. So this is a big flex. I have this eggplant right here. I have this one. This is the Summer Emerald. This is the Violet Delight. Both of these are from Johnny Seeds. There's another one back here. And again, all with the help of growing marigolds. These are the more typical marigolds that you'll see. They're a dwarf. Oh, I'm gonna step outside there. I can't say these are a dwarf variety. These are more a compact variety of zinnias. These are the ones that you find at Lowe's. And then they also typically have like these, but they're not 4 or 5 feet tall. They're also more a compact, close to the ground marigold. So I'm very happy with buying my seeds offline. That's when I find the most variety in the marigolds that I'm able to grow. But I know like Botanical Interest, there's a few companies that you can get at a nursery or a plant store, sometimes even Whole Foods. I've been able to find some cool varieties from Botanical Interest at Whole Foods. So if you're looking for seeds, for marigold seeds, I would try Whole Foods. There's so many different variations in marigolds. Just right here, I have the white one, the dwarf, not dwarf, I gotta stop saying that. The compact red one, which, look at that flower. That is so cool. And these orange ones. So a lot of variety in color and in size, with all of those same beautiful pest deterrent properties and heat tolerant properties. Make sure that you're picking off those old spent blooms so that you can get a beautiful continual blooming of the flowers. If they stay on the plant for too long, they'll start to turn brown like this. And then eventually they'll look like this on the plant. And when that happens, it tells the plant to stop producing flowers. So your marigolds will start to die. And I know that's not what we want. Starting marigold seeds, super easy. I like to use Revival gardening soil to make sure that I get the highest germination rate. And the seeds that I'm going to be sowing right now are from Johnny Seeds. These are the red gem and the lemon gem, which from the last time I grew these, the lemon gem had not that great germination, but it says it, which I can appreciate, 66%. So I put, now this time I'll put double the amount of lemon gem that I put red gem. Red gem has an 87% germination rate, which I was able to see, and it is true. These germinated way better. I have so many red gem marigolds sprinkled around my garden. The red gem and the lemon gem are a tiny, whimsical marigold. So I'm excited to have them in my garden this year because they grow more bushy than they grow like elongated. So it's gonna make a really nice pollinator hedge and a beautiful pop of color seeing all of those tiny yellow flowers. This is soil that I'm reusing because Revival's soil is so nutrient dense. I don't have to amend it. They do have a compost tea, that if you do notice that your soil is lacking, that you can just spruce it up with. And they sell all of the individual amendments that they put in their soil on their website. So if there's specifically something that like is a problem specifically in your garden, you can get those amendments and alleviate those problems. Because it might just be like one nutrient that's stopping your flowers from really flowering. And they have a list of all of the different things on their website and how to use them. So make sure you check them out for your soil needs. And like I said earlier, I like to start a lot of seeds at once so that I can continue to stay motivated in planting. If you want to have a consistent, steady, abundant garden, you should be starting some seeds every month. Maybe it's only once a week. Maybe it's 2 seeds a week. Maybe you sit down and plant 20 seeds at one time. However you can break up the planting, if you want to be able to really survive off your garden and eat the things that you grow, you need to consistently be starting new seeds. So this is the lemon gem. I'm going to show you just how, oh, and there's so many in here. I got a 1 out of 16 ounce, 1 16th ounce pack. I think it was the packet, and this is so many. So that's another reason why I'm so comfortable with planting at a high amount, because this much seeds is in my hand and there's still this much in the packet. See all that? I am not playing with these seeds. Because like I said, I can thin all of these out once they germinate. But if there's nothing that nothing that germinates, you have nothing to thin. So you effectively just wasted your time. I'd rather have too much than too little. Mm-hmm. And zinnias are some of the easiest flowers to save seeds from. Once they get large, you just pull the petal out and all of the seeds are there. They dry really easily. They don't mold and stuff like some seeds. And I've had very high germination with marigolds that I've saved compared to like daisies. I get really crappy germinations, or I have in the past, from my own daisies that I've tried to save. Okay. And then I'm just going to cover these lightly. There isn't really any science to this. It's just using good soil and good seeds. Like, it's really that simple. And I wish that I wasn't being so hard-headed at the beginning and just like fiercely independent. Like, oh, I gotta make my own soil and I need to have my own seeds, like save my own seeds. You could definitely save your own seeds. Like, I highly recommend that for sovereignty reasons. But you can also get quality seeds to save, because if you're saving seeds from some plant that was struggling the whole season, you're not going to get good germination from those seeds. You want high quality seeds to start the process of your seed saving collection. So if you're using something like Fairy Morse seeds, those are not the seeds to be trying to save from. They're already not stored the best, so they're already not the strongest and most viable seed. No shade, no tea. Use a better seed company. Okay. Now I am sowing the red gem. And these have a lot higher germination. I'm still going to plant them densely, but I'm not going to plant them as densely as I did with the yellow gem or lemon gem. Thank you so much for sharing space with me yet another week. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss out on any more of my gardening content. And if you found it to be helpful, click like. It does a lot for our channel and making sure that we can continue to put out these lovely videos for you and help you grow the best garden that you've ever seen. All right, happy gardening. Bye.